All right, Larry Kruger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little Golden State Warrior video. The buyout market is begun, and the Warriors ought to grab a great young playoff performer. We'll talk about that coming up next. But first, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. We're also brought to you by Aura, and we'll have a word from our sponsor, Aura, in a bit. Well, the Warriors are at the All-Star break, and they're hosting the All-Star game, and man, they look good since they got Jimmy Butler. Man, they traded for Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler with him, they're 3-1. And they let one get away. They could have easily been 4-0. And Jimmy Butler is exactly what the doctor ordered. You know, is he Kevin Durant? No, he's not that kind of scorer. But you know what he is? He's got an all-around floor game, and he gives them tremendous toughness, and he gets to the foul line. The one thing the Warriors didn't do, they weren't that tough, and they didn't get to the foul line. Now you take out Wiggins, you put in Jimmy Butler, and they're tougher, and they get to the foul line. Surprising how that works. And now they're starting to play a lot better. And Draymond Green said, you know, they have way, way, way more confidence as a team going forward. And now it's like, you know, there's no more, well, what does the future hold for all of us? Now they've chosen a direction. They've traded for Jimmy Butler. They've signed him to an extension. They're going to go forward the next 2 years and see what they can do to get Steph, you know, deep into the playoffs or potentially into the finals and hopefully a ring. I mean, that's the game plan. That is the plan. You added Jimmy Butler, and Steph, you know, was like, hey, man, this is our final go-round. This is like, you know, it's an emotional thing, I'm sure. You know, they're taking their final run at another title, and this time they're doing it with Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler has fit like a glove. He passes the ball. He rebounds the ball. I mean, what did the Warriors miss in Wiggins? They missed that rebounder that was so good, you know, on the glass in their championship run, and he just hadn't been that player. Well, Jimmy Butler walks in immediately, starts rebounding the basketball. He shares the basketball. He goes to the hole. He plays under control. He makes the smart play. He is super tough. And now you add the toughness of Butler to the toughness of Draymond, and there's a focus, there's an intensity, I think overall there's just the Warriors look like an organization now that they know what direction they're going. Before it was like, we got some young guys, we got some old guys, we got some this, we got some that. What are we doing? Who's coming? Who's going? What can we get? Who's going to be here after the trade deadline? There was a lot of indecision and a lot of uncertainty going into the trade deadline. Then they make the deal for Jimmy Butler. They sign him to the 2-year extension. They carve out their direction. They kind of show everybody, oh, this is it. This is what we're doing. We're adding Jimmy Butler, and we're going to try to win a title in the next 2 years with Jimmy Butler, with Draymond, with Steph, and whatever else we can add. So now fast forward to the All-Star break. They're playing okay. They're in, one of the 10 best teams in the league, but they don't look like they're, going to be a top 4 seed or anything, but maybe they could get to the 6th seed. Who knows? We'll see what the second half looks like. I think they're going to win a lot of games. They did sign Kevin Knox to a 10-day contract. I like Knox. Knox was averaging 19.1 points and 7.3 rebounds in Santa Cruz. And I thought he looked good in the summer league. He's a big scoring wing who can play either forward spot. He went to Kentucky, drafted by the Knicks in the lottery, 9th pick overall in 2018, and he had a good rookie season. He averaged 12.8 points and 4.5 rebounds a game, but then he struggled. He's played for the Hawks, the Pistons, the Blazers, and he hasn't been in the NBA at any point this year. But they signed him to a 10-day contract, and we'll see. We'll see what he can do. See if he can help them a little bit. But, I think this is a player that can definitely help them. I think Knox makes a lot of sense. So there's the buyout market. And the Warriors, are they going to be alive in the buyout market? Are they going to make a play in the buyout market? One of the guys that I really would love to see the Warriors go after in the buyout market is Reggie Jackson, not Mr. October. Reggie Jackson, the NBA player. And by the way, you know what Reggie Jackson, the NBA player's nickname is? Mr. June. Think about it. Mr. June. Why? Because this guy has played huge in the playoffs in the past. Reggie Jackson, if you go to look at just what he did with the Clippers in the playoffs in 2020, 2021, just a couple years ago at this point, he started 17 games for them. He played 32 minutes a night. He really was good. I mean, he was excellent in that Clipper run. He's averaged almost 18 points a game for the Clippers in the playoffs in 19 games in the playoffs, 17 starts, and really played well. Coming out of Boston College, he was a defensive player. He's now more of an offensive player, but he's a two-way player and he's a clutch player, and he's another guy that would give the Warriors toughness, and they definitely lack that kind of toughness. And I think he makes a lot of sense. Now, there was an article on Fansided that predicted that the Warriors will sign Reggie Jackson. And I think he's exactly what they need. I really do. I mean, they don't have a ton of reliable ball handlers outside of Steph. Last season, Reggie Jackson surprisingly averaged over 10 points per game. He played all 82 games for the Nuggets, a really good team. And then he was dealt to the Wizards by the Sixers and then was quickly waived. So he can join a contending team in the buyout market and try to make a run at a Larry O'Brien trophy. And at this point, I said he's a young guy. He's 34. He's kind of an older player at this point. But you know what I love is just that he's a productive rotational piece. He's durable. He's tough. He can create off the dribble. He can run the second unit when Steph's not on the floor. He can take some of the playmaking duties away from Steph. I think he would be an outstanding fit. He's a proven playoff performer. And, eventually, once upon a time, he signed a 5-year, $80 million contract with the Pistons. He had a really good career going. So I just think that, if you want to add a guy in the backcourt who can handle the ball, who gives you some veteran leadership, playoff experience, playoff success, a knack for scoring, another tough guard who can play both ways, offensively and defensively, he can make an impact, and he can run the point for that second unit, and he's a guy who's proven. Some guys step up. I mean, the playoffs are interesting in pro sports. Some guys step up and other guys evaporate. And, if you're one of those guys that just disappears in the playoffs, you know what? Those are not the kind of guys you want to add in the buyout market if you're trying to make a playoff run and a title run under Steph Curry. What are you looking for in the buyout market? You're looking for somebody who fills a need, which he would, but you're also looking for somebody who's kind of proven that when the lights shine bright, that they show up and play huge. And that's what Reggie Jackson has done with the Clippers in the playoffs. He's a proven playoff performer, and I think he would be a perfect addition for the Warriors. He would give them toughness, ball handling, playoffs experience, and another athletic guy with some swagger. I think Reggie Jackson in a short window, you're just talking about, the rest of February, March, April, and whatever you can do as far as the playoffs, I think it would be a really wise addition, and I'd love to see Mike Dunleavy do it. I give Dunleavy a lot of credit. He had the right feel. He didn't trade Kuminga at the deadline. He kept Kuminga and found a way to make the addition for Jimmy Butler, and now you got Kuminga coming back. You maybe could add a player like Reggie Jackson in the buyout market, and maybe Golden State can make a run in a kind of a wide open Western Conference. Maybe they could make a run. I mean, if they make a run to the finals, it would be an incredible story. So Mike Dunleavy, sign Reggie Jackson. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. And now a word from our sponsor, Aura. Have you ever typed your name on the internet and seen all of your private information is online? Are you tired of receiving tons of spam calls from random numbers? Are you receiving more and more of these as time has gone on? Well, that's where Aura, the sponsor of today's show, can really help you out. Data brokers sell your information to scammers and spammers and anyone else who may want to target you. Your full name, your email, your home address, all your records, your health records, who your relatives are. It's all out there. That's why I've been using Aura. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use the information to help them access my social media accounts, my bank accounts, or any other sensitive information. Aura also does so much more to protect me and my family from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up. And best of all, I get everything at one affordable price. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to the link in the description to start your 2-week free trial. And thanks to Aura for sponsoring The Krug Show. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.